What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the CRWN Cinema Podcast. In this episode, we literally just watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. That movie does not have to be that badass. It's kind of hilarious how badass all the action scenes are, with the story just being such like a silly, almost like a childish story, but it just has adult elements, obviously, but it's just like incredibly badass with this like comic book kid-ish style.
Yeah, I mean, it's immature romance, pretty much. Like, they're all, like, in their early 20s, well, except for Knives.
Knives is 17.
Still in high school. What an opening. Yeah, like, oh, so, Scott, you're dating a high schooler? He's like, yeah. And one of the guys is like, high school? Nice.
Yeah.
And it's not sarcastic. He's genuinely impressed.
And he's the same age, too, but he looks, like, 10 years older than Scott.
Yeah, Michael Cera was definitely the right person to cast.
He is
for
a perfect,
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, he is perfect for it. I love watching this movie because it's so fun. It's so entertaining. It's very well made.
Definitely.
The animation's really cool.
You can tell just by how stacked the cast is that this was a script that a lot of people probably like saw like in Hollywood, and a lot of people just wanted to be in it.
Yeah, and it's kind of the perfect story for Edgar Wright to produce because he did Baby Driver. He's done a lot of those kind of witty filmmaking styles with his other movies, like Hot Fuzz is another one that's kind of got those witty camera jokes, visual jokes, I guess. So he's a perfect person to direct this kind of story. Yeah, and it's good.
This is a good movie to watch on like a Saturday during the day.
Yeah, which is what it is right now.
Yeah, maybe a little hungover. Who knows?
Recovery.
Yeah, just a good one to kind of snap you right out of it.
All right, what do you give it out of 10?
Oh, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. The plot is pretty basic, but if it's going to be basic, I think that's why you have to go over the top with making it almost cartoonish.
I don't know if I'd say it's basic.
I mean, it's just
straightforward, I guess. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I guess. Like, yeah, I mean, it's a guy who I guess lives in like a cartoon Canadian
reality.
World. Yeah. And in order to date this girl, he has to like defeat all 7 of her exes. Nothing crazy. I mean, I guess there's a little twist of like, does he like Knives? Does he like Ramona? But no, it's still a good movie. The acting's good. The one-liners are
impeccable,
beyond legendary. I mean, we messed up because it's been so long since I've seen this movie. I guess I forgot that the one-liners were as good as they are. If I had remembered that, I would have just made a list of
all the ones you loved.
Yeah, because there's just a lot. I will give this an 8.6.
Nice. That's strong.
That's a good score.
I was gonna go 8.2.
All right,
definitely an 8er. Scott, what are your thoughts on Scott Pilgrim?
I give it a 10.
I could have called it.
It's a perfect movie.
Yeah, I truly have no complaints. Like, as you watch it, there's no way you would think like, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I wish I did that better. Because it's its own unique style, 100%. And it does it so well.
Scott, you looking at all the lines right now?
Yeah, I looked up a list of one-liners.
Yeah.
The Chris Evans character has the best
it's
ones.
mainly the Chris Evans character that has the good one-liners.
Yeah.
The other ones are funny, but they're not like the badassery that Chris Evans portrays. Which, again, this is like his start of playing a really good dickhead.
Yeah, well, when he was the Human Torch, he's a dickhead in that.
But
as
you
well.
like him though. He's arrogant, but you like him.
Right. Well, he's a superhero. So
well,
at
least we did when we were 7 years old watching it. Like, Johnny
him.
Storm's the most badass.
That's true. But yes, in hindsight, he did have to like kind of bring that out of his tool bag, like as far as acting. Like he definitely saw that like in this movie as well.
Yeah, it's funny. He can play like that sweet golden retriever type of dude that's just happy all the time and ready to go along with everything, and just be the, pretentious prick too.
Good actor, man.
He is a good actor.
So yeah, how about that? We got Captain America and Superman. Holy shit. Gotta snap out of it. Yeah, we got Superman and Captain America. 2 of just the most American superheroes of their respected universes.
Yep.
And they're not even like main characters. They're just ex-boyfriends.
They're early on in the boyfriend battles. Well, I mean, I'm assuming Chris Evans was a big deal back then.
At this point?
Yeah.
I really don't know.
I mean,
he was the Human Torch, and then, so this came out in 2009, right?
Okay.
So then the first Avengers movie came out in 2012, or is it 2011?
Yeah. Okay, so he's for sure a big deal because he was literally Captain America.
Well, Captain America might have. Did it come out before the first Avengers?
Yeah. Because it started off with it started off with the Hulk movie, and then it was Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, 2011.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, he's definitely like respected in Hollywood at this point, but
So yeah, he's for sure
okay, he was big.
decently big.
He was about to become worldwide.
He's on the cusp
Yeah.
of just pure stardom.
It was pretty good that they nabbed him before all that because it would have been tougher.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to have been big for Fantastic Four. That's another big one, right? Jessica Alba starring in that one. Who doesn't do... She really doesn't do any movies ever. Kind of quit acting, it seems like, which is unfortunate.
It's unfortunate for guys like us. We love you, Jessica.
But I remember the first time I watched Scott Pilgrim, I didn't know what it was really. So watching all the animations and I'm like, oh my God. And then watching him, the first fight, just one punch that motherfucker.
I think I kind of went into it as blindly as you. I just remember it was one of those movies, and this was years ago, but everybody just kept talking about how underrated it was to the point where I'm like, I don't really think it's that underrated. I think
it's pretty popular.
Yeah, but people are like, I don't know. I guess it is kind of a cult type movie.
Yeah.
Like, you definitely get that feeling, but I think everybody respectfully enjoys this movie.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely like a different, because it's so unique. The style is so unique to itself.
Yeah.
There's no other really movie like it. There's other movies that are woody like that. Like, it still has remnants of Edgar Wright's kind of style in it, but it's very unique with the comic book animations, all the on-screen text and stuff like that. It's super unique. So, but even though it is unique, it does seem like everybody still loves it. You would think it might turn people off because it's kind of silly, but that's what makes it so good.
Yeah. I think of all, again, like back to the one-liners, like just being perfectly put in place, like executed perfectly, like just it's a good movie. I mean, I'm trying to think, like what are some of the one-liners we heard? Scott, what's the?
It's milk and eggs, bitch.
The vegan one.
There's that. Yeah, no.
Milk and eggs,
No,
bitch.
that's what it was. So whenever he's fighting, what's
Todd,
yeah, Superman. Like whenever he's like getting his superpowers and he just like, he's picking him up and then he like looks at her and he's like, what the fuck? Because this is the most powerful X up until this point.
Yep.
And she said, oh, didn't you know? Todd's vegan. And then like, I remember we were laughing really hard. And then it just gets better because as he's like walking towards Scott, he says, it's really not a big deal.
Yeah, which is like the perfect joke to make about someone that's fucking vegan with superpowers.
So like that right there was just perfect. And
because Edgar Wright writes all of his movies, so they're always so good and so funny because he is there controlling it, making sure that the jokes land with the way he tells the story.
Especially with, I think, that audience. Like this audience, but I mean, this is just a different kind of audience rather than going after like John Wayne lovers. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like this movie in 2010 was made for like high schoolers / college kids. You know?
Would your dad enjoy this movie?
Absolutely not.
You don't think so? If you made him sit down and watch it, he wouldn't like it?
Not at all. No.
I think
it's a little too hipster because it is. It's definitely like.
But I wonder if it's good enough to then be like, okay, that was actually enjoyable. Because it's almost like that.
I think my mom would love it.
Probably.
I think Mama P would love this.
I bet money on that.
Yeah, Martha Pittman would probably think it's funny.
Yeah, it's good though. It's a classic that people seem to not think is a classic. Like you said, they call it underrated.
Yeah, I think it's just because it does kind of have the, like I said, like kind of the hipster vibe. Hipster vibe. Like, I mean, you got these 20-something-year-olds that, you know, living with their roommates and like they're in a band together. One of them's like dating a high schooler. It's just kind of they're an odd crowd and yet they're the main crowd. You really don't even see anybody else in this world that like makes fun of them for like being in a band or anything.
Yeah. And it's funny because in this world too, Scott Pilgrim, who Mike, what is it? Michael Cera.
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera. He's not like a super good-looking masculine dude, yet he gets all these hot chicks.
Yeah.
You know, and has girlfriends like fighting over him, and he's also a badass that kicks ass. It's
Yeah.
like this world is so unique, and you're like, all right, I guess this is just what happens
This
in
is
this
cool.
world.
Yeah, I love it.
That's why it's easy. All the
Like, he's a known lady killer throughout the movie. I mean, talking about like his sister calling him out on like being a lady killer, breaking girls' hearts, and
right.
yada yada, and then he like actually goes on to explain like all the exes he had, and he's like, "Fuck yes,
Yeah,
yes."
it's like Will Ferrell and the other guys.
Pretty much, yeah. And then, okay, what was another? Oh, he says you're gonna hear 2 clicks, me hanging up, and then me pulling the trigger.
Yeah. Chris Evans' one-liners are insane. He plays the perfect like over-the-top action hero guy.
Yeah.
All right, here it is.
Now you listen close and you listen hard, bucko. The next click you hear is me hanging up. The one after that is me pulling the trigger.
So good.
And then the stunt double. Can you actually look this up? Because I can't remember if I just made this up in my head. But look up Chris Evans stunt double. Yes, that's what it is. So I remember hearing this like after like the last time I watched this movie, but all the stunt doubles in the movie are Chris Evans' actual stunt doubles.
That would make sense.
Which makes the other one-liner when he's like he says he's good, right? Sometimes I even let him get the wide shot.
yeah.
So like that joke lands even better because he gives all of his stunt doubles like their own shot on screen. Yeah.
Or he doesn't, and he's like, oh, well, in that time he does get all his stunt doubles.
Yeah, he
on the
has
big
them
screen.
all in a group. Yeah. Asks them like, I'm going to go get a coffee. Y'all want anything?
That's insane. Why would you think you need that many stunt doubles? I thought it was only like 1 or 2.
And when you're playing Captain America, like I don't know. That's like a physical role. And it's one of those superhero movies where I don't think you really need like that many special effects because he really doesn't have the craziest superpowers.
Right.
Like he doesn't fly or anything. Like he's just really fast, really strong.
Yeah.
Like can go through walls, all that. So like I could see that needing like a lot of stunt doubles.
Give them each a break, I guess.
Maybe.
I would think maybe they all specialize in something.
Yeah, like somebody can jump out a window and somebody can drive a car.
Do like
Right.
fight choreography.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah. And I'm sure, too, you probably need more because your stunt double probably doesn't always just work with you. They are hopefully getting more gigs and outside of your career. So,
yeah, that's true.
You might have to cycle through your guys.
Although if you got Chris Evans as your main guy, I mean that's pretty much hitting the lottery right there.
Yeah. But what
You're
if
set
Chris
for a
Evans,
while.
What if Chris Evans turns into a
Rick Dalton?
Rick Dalton? Yeah. What if Chris Evans turns into a Rick Dalton? Then you're out of alert. Then you're out of work. You're fucked.
Cliff, I just don't need you.
So you might need a wide variety of people.
No, that's true. But yeah, I remember seeing that and I thought that was really cool. Especially now that I confirmed it, like I said, it makes that one-liner like just that much better. And then obviously the other one I liked was this is the whole Chris Evans segment on this movie right now. But the guy's like, hey, big fan. And he just walks away. He's like, yeah, why wouldn't you be?
Yeah. He's my favorite character probably, and he's one of my favorite exes just because of all the one-liners we've been talking about.
Yeah.
But I also like Wallace. That's the roommate, the gay roommate.
Oh, yeah.
Most of his scenes are always pretty funny.
Yeah, Wallace, he was good.
Yeah, I think the characters are really what make this movie because there's really no complaints with any of them.
Yeah.
Like I think they all are enjoyable to watch on screen.
I just think they do a really good job of making just kind of the silly humor, like not, I don't know, just like a little cringy or whatever.
Right.
So whenever Scott tells Wallace, like, don't tell my sister, and then he immediately texts his sister, like, I don't know. They do that really well to where it's like, oh, that actually is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And they do that like throughout the movie and it doesn't like get old or anything. And I just think when it comes to corny humor like that, if you can get away with it, that means you've done really well with making the movie.
Yeah, because the lines are always so corny, but that's what you're watching. And I think
I think it's also just what's up?
I was gonna say just the animation helps you understand this is gonna be a corny movie.
Yeah.
And so you're wanting to see the corny lines.
I appreciate the speed of the movie, the tempo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, like just even the little things, like him texting his sister really quickly. Like
Yeah.
that's like funny.
Yeah.
And then
There's part when it skips in time like 3 times when he first meets Ramona,
Mhm.
and he like is dazed by her, and he just like skips through his day.
yeah, and then the first time that they compete in the band competition,
Mm-hmm.
in the first band's song, like I forget what it's called, but they literally just sing the title and then like that's it. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So it's just, I guess it's a little unpredictable. Like you never know if a joke's really about to like be dragged out or if
Yeah.
it's just gonna like get to it. And then
Yeah.
when they do decide to make it quick, it lands better
Yeah.
because it kind of catches you off guard.
Yeah. It also never drags.
No,
Never once
the
are you
perfect.
bored. Never once are you like, all right, this is kind of a slow part. Like it's always moving.
Yeah.
That's what's good about it too. You're right. The pacing is good.
You know, I'm happy that the writers decided to not let Scott end up with knives
Yes.
because I kind of forgot.
Me too.
I kind of forgot the ending of this movie. So whenever Ramona says goodbye to him and then it looks like he's about to end up with knives, I'm like, like, it's not like the best way to
Yeah,
end this
yeah.
movie. I mean,
We actually don't really want him to be with knives. Please.
yeah, like she's 17. You know, that she could still be a junior in high school if she's 17.
Yeah.
And he's 22. I love that we have no idea if they're in college. I don't think they are.
Nope.
No. I love that college isn't even mentioned in this movie.
Nor is really work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we know that Wallace has a job, but we don't ever see him at work or doing anything work related.
No, his sister works.
That's
Scott's
right.
sister.
Yep, she works at that
Little
place.
coffee shop.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
I mean, Aubrey Plaza's character obviously works, but that's the first time we see her in the record store. So that's just her character.
yeah.
But the main characters, they don't talk about their jobs at all.
I like there's some good messages in this movie too.
Like what?
You gotta learn how to love yourself before you.
The power of self-respect.
There we go. That's right. That was good. So that was important.
And
that
that's
they-
just so funny because first he got love, and then he got self-respect, and self-respect's the most powerful sword he can master. At the end of the movie, it's kind of almost just very obviously showing his character arc. He just unlocked this skill. So that was good. Power of self-respect.
Yeah. What other messages? I mean, don't date a girl in high school
Yeah.
if you are not in high school.
And then, probably shouldn't cheat on her because you're already kind of committing one sin.
because she can take it to the law, statutory rape.
Yeah. It's just
Just a lot of good messages in this movie.
yeah.
Things that you shouldn't do.
Yeah, definitely not.
I appreciate that.
I wish they kind of I guess just in this world it's just okay to date a high schooler. Is that just widely accepted?
Maybe in Canada.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay, look up the consent age in Canada. If it's 17, that doesn't make sense. Because, based on a book,
Oh my
wow,
God.
it's
Whoa!
16 years old. So
Okay, we stand corrected.
there we go. He's
We just-
actually a good man. He waited a year.
Holy shit.
Wow.
This whole time, I've been so confused why it was like so okay.
Accepted. Yeah, okay. Well, now that makes way more sense.
Yeah, well, but at the same time, it's still frowned upon because, like, he doesn't want to like tell Ramona how old she is.
I mean, it's still
But you have
weird.
to remember, Ramona is like us. She's from America, so if she finds out that her 22-year-old boyfriend is like he just dated a 17-year-old, she'd be weirded out.
Yeah, I remember when that scene first happened and you find out that she's in high school. I immediately crossed my fingers and like, okay, so she's 18 and then ding, 17. Like, no. So just straight up gonna date a minor.
But okay, Canada.
Guess not. You still are dating a minor though. So there's that. Because I'm sure the legal age is probably 18 too, right? Does it say that?
No, it's 16.
Yeah.
But okay.
The age of sexual consent in Canada is 16.
But is that, I guess once you have consent, you're not a minor anymore?
Wait,
Oh, I see
except
what
where the
you're
other
saying.
person is, except where the other person is in a position of trust or authority, in which case it's 18.
What does that
Oh,
mean?
no. So it says like if you're a 25-year-old teacher priest, like if it's like a teacher to a student type relationship, they have to be 18.
Yeah. So if
But
mute
if you're Scott Pilgrim in a garage band
yeah.
and you want to date a 17-year-old girl, acceptable.
That's yeah.
Okay, well,
That's obviously that really means that people do take advantage of that 16-year-old law. Obviously, because now they have to have a little asterisk by it. But if you're an authority figure, 18, buddy.
I think everybody. I think that's just always been a known thing. Well, because like in America, I don't even think it. Can a professor really like hook up with a student? I don't know. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
they can
In college.
but like consequences.
I don't think so. I don't think in college.
I don't think. Can you be arrested? Maybe
Not
not.
they're all of age.
Yeah.
If they're 18, if they're college age.
I guess I'm just thinking about because like James Franco, he taught at some university, and then he got in trouble because he was like having sex with a student.
I mean, it could be against the campus's policy.
Code of conduct.
You know, yeah.
Okay,
But it's not
that's-
illegal.
Okay.
You might get kicked out of the school if they find out and frown upon it.
So
What do you expect James Franco to do
What
in
if you're a high school teacher and you hook up with an 18-year-old senior?
That's also probably it's legal.
Is it?
It's still fucking weird. Yeah, I think that literally the law is just the age. It doesn't matter if you're an authority figure.
You think so?
It's just a Canada thing.
Yeah, just a Canadian thing.
You can be a high school teacher in
Canadian.
America and like hook up with an 18-year-old student?
Yeah, why are you thinking about becoming a teacher?
No, I don't think that's I think y'all are wrong. I think you would totally get in trouble for that.
All right, look it up.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, but legally.
That's what I'm asking.
You'd
I
probably
feel
get
like
kicked out of the school, yes.
Yeah.
But you won't go to jail. It's all about the underage is the issue.
and that's it.
Yes.
This is news to me. Because now I'm thinking about stories that I've heard with some of these I'm
Is something you can elaborate on, or you just want to pass by this one?
I could probably elaborate on it. Like I'm just thinking about all the scandals that like you just hear
But
around.
that's with the teacher hooking up with a 16-year-old or something.
Right. And so now I'm thinking, damn, if you had just waited a year, you would have been all right.
That's the issue. That is the issue.
Of course, it's fucked up, but
But then I don't think you get in legal trouble, but then you get in trouble by being a groomer, by like grooming somebody. So like you keep in touch and just wait around for them to turn legal age and then immediately take action. Like didn't Drake DM Millie Bobby Brown the minute she turned 18? Like the day of like her birthday? I'm pretty sure that happened. And it's
I'm
like,
sure-
all right, dude.
I'm sure it happens all the time.
You
Like
fucking weird.
some of these teachers are just waiting for that kid to just walk across the stage, and they're just like, "Hey, congratulations! Like, welcome to the real world."
Gross, dude. Gross. Unless they're younger. Even that's still weird, you know, but like what's really gross is when you think about it as like an old man, like a fucking 40-year-old guy creeping on these young women. God.
Bad.
Why'd you bring this up, dude?
It's bad, dude. We talked about it. I guess I'm shocked right now that like a teacher could, in theory, like have sex with an 18-year-old senior high school. And like, sure, they could get fired, but like, no jail time?
No, it's legal.
God.
You're pretty much a grown man at that point. You can go fight in a war.
Oh my God.
Isn't that kind of crazy? You can go fight in a war at 18, but you can't buy beer. You can literally go kill somebody, but you can't buy beer. Or cigarettes. Or tobacco anymore.
Yeah. I think we're the only country, maybe Canada. What's the drinking age in Canada?
14.
In Canada?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
It is. I mean,
I'm saying I'm sure they're
in Germany, I think that's like more accurate.
18 and 19.
What the fuck?
18
It's
and
just
19.
us. Well, which is it? Oh, okay. I see. Sorry. Wasn't asking you.
I get
I
why.
was more of asking Canada.
I get. I mean, I get why it's 21, but
I don't.
it's just because it's so fucking terrible for you. But
So
it'll just hurt your developing brain.
You know what else?
But
is
yeah, I
tough?
agree. It's like, dude,
You know what else is
I'm an
terrible.
adult.
Life can be terrible.
Yep.
That's why a nice cocktail can just be nice every once in a while.
Yep. And shit. I mean,
18
damn near
years
everybody was
old.
drinking at 15 anyway. You were drinking at 12, I think you said.
I may have had a beer when I was 13. No, that just it makes me think of. I saw somebody talk about how, they wanted to get a tattoo, and it was a terrible tattoo idea, but like it was his idea. He was 18 years old, or no, he was 17, and he was like a senior in high school. And he wanted a tattoo, and the artist was like, "Absolutely not! Like, this is a big decision, like, yada yada." And he's like, and then 2 months later, I was able to like go $150,000 debt for an art degree at some BS college. It's the same thing. Like, dude, like, let me get a drink. I already know, like,
Yep.
You're about to just ask me for so much money. Like, I can go in debt. I can own a home. Like, I can rent out an apartment. Like, I deserve to be able to buy a beer.
I agree. Kind of fucked up.
Get it together, America.
I don't think it looks like we're moving backwards because
It used to be.
tobacco got increased. Yeah, but I guess now it is a little bit better that we know that it's not as weird in Canada, apparently, for Knives Chau to be 17.
Yeah, well, it also just, like, kind of makes other thing make sense. Like, young
Neil.
Young Neil. Yeah, like, young Neil's, like, at the bar with him having drinks, and I was like, there's, like, no mention of him even having to use a fake ID. I mean, it's not the craziest thing in the world,
Right.
but it was pretty normal. And Knives was also at the bar. Now, I don't think she was drinking, but she was there.
Yeah, she was.
Speaking of that, like, every song in this movie, I think it just goes so hard.
Yeah, the songs are good too. The soundtrack's good.
Like, the music's good, which I'm happy they did that. Because I don't know, I feel like you could have gone away with, like, making some, like, newbie band not sound so good.
Yeah, right.
I'm glad that they actually, like, made them just, like, randomly badass. Or
Edgar
maybe-
Wright like takes pride in all his soundtracks, and this is like a very musical movie.
Definitely. Well, then I get that.
Yeah, like, because Baby Driver, I mean, every single thing in that movie is on beat to the music. Like, he wrote the story around the music.
Yeah.
So, because you also never really, most movies that have a musical element, the music's never terrible. It's always, like, that's a good song. People always tend to listen to soundtracks.
Unless it's just, like, I don't know. Like, I can't really think of anything specifically, but, like, just, like, a stupid movie. I was going to say Will Ferrell, but even that's a lie because Will Ferrell actually sounds good in every, like, movie that he ends
Boats
up
and hoes.
No, but, like, when he's singing the opera
No, yeah,
scene,
because he's actually singing in that.
Yeah.
In that.
and he actually has a decent voice.
Porti Voler, the Catalina wine mixer.
The Catalina fucking wine.
Because what's another musical movie like in La La Land?
I've never seen La La Land.
Really?
But yeah.
It's
I'm
Scott's
sure we'll
favorite
get
movie.
to it.
Isn't that your favorite movie?
Big La La
It's not
Land
my
guy?
favorite movie.
One of
I
them,
like it
though.
a lot. Yeah,
Okay, that's a 10.1.
probably a 10.
But there's a scene whenever John Legend, right? That's the John Legend is. It's about a jazz movie's about jazz, and Ryan Gosling likes classic jazz. This John Legend's character wants to make it like new hip hop jazz, so they have like a song they play, and it's actually pretty good because they're supposed to be like the new hip genre.
Mm-hmm.
But their song is actually pretty good, and obviously because John Legend probably made it. But
Yeah, but that would make sense because, like, La La Land, like, okay, I'm thinking if a Napoleon Dynamite, like, if there was any type of music in that, you would assume, like, that would suck.
but it probably would
Like,
suck
but
on
it would
purpose.
be on purpose.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess
The music kind of does suck. His dance music.
yeah, I
you
guess
know?
that's
Yeah.
true. I don't really. I'm not the biggest Napoleon Dynamite kind of guy.
I haven't seen it in a minute. I liked it. I like it a lot though. I think it's hilarious.
I've tried watching it so many times.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a minute, so.
But I'm just, I guess, no. Like, it's always safer now that I'm thinking about it. Like, if you're going to make a movie, funny or not, like, you need the music to sound somewhat decent. So.
Yeah, for sure. I've always enjoyed good music.
I'm still shouting out the writers for making the music good.
Shout out Edgar Wright. He's one of my favorite filmmakers. I like most of his movies. If not all of them. I don't think I've seen all of them, but I like most of his movies.
I've seen this, Baby Driver.
He did Hot Fuzz. That's the police one.
No, I've never seen that.
No. He did Late Night in Soho. I didn't watch that though.
Last Night in Soho, I didn't like it that much.
Really? I didn't watch it. Shaun of the Dead.
No.
You seen that? What do you do for Planet Terror?
Planet Terror.
Ooh. Oh, he directed it. What? Oh, Grindhouse. Apparently, Edgar Wright was a part of that Grindhouse deal. Me and you watched a few episodes back with the Planet Terror Death Proof combo.
Right. Okay. I was about to say the cover looks similar.
Yeah, I wonder where he was involved with them. I thought it was just straight up Robert Rodriguez and Tarantino. Oh. Okay. So it says in 2007, Wright also directed a fake trailer insert for Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez's Grindhouse called Don't. It was a plotless trailer that mocked horror cliches with such lines as, if you are thinking of going into this house, don't. So
you really took those ... serious right there.
I know. Kind of fucked it up in the beginning. Had to redeem myself. That's cool that directors will do that, give other writers a cameo in their movie. You're like, hey, can you write this little piece for me?
Yeah.
Or, add a little twist to it. Because Tarantino could have easily written and done that.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, let's get somebody else to do it. So that way it's kind of its own thing.
Let's have some fun.
I think there was another trailer that was in a Tarantino movie for a fake movie that new movie Thanksgiving was written from or based on. Now, Thanksgiving was a new movie by Eli Roth, the guy that played the Bear Jew in Inglourious Bastards. He directed this movie Thanksgiving, and it was
I don't know,
just like a horror Thanksgiving movie, kind of like a.
I did hear about this. And who had something to do with this?
No, I'm just saying.
There was like a fake trailer or something?
Yeah, it was a fake trailer in a Tarantino movie. I think it was in this Grindhouse thing too. Like Edgar Wright made this one. I think there was another fake trailer too about a horror Thanksgiving movie. And Eli Roth took that idea and made an entire movie out of it and released it last year.
No shit.
Yeah. And it had the comedian Tim Dillon was in it. He had like a little cameo in it. Yeah, but it's just like a corny kind of, Thanksgiving horror movie.
But Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, so when I first watched it, like I was saying, I didn't know really much about it. I think I watched it for school. And so when I put it on, it was kind of comic booky. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then the first fight happened. I was like, oh my God. Because it sets you up with the animation that's going to be a little silly, and they got the text on screen, and it uses those as jokes sometimes. Mm-hmm. And then when he goes and fights that guy, I was like, holy shit. So he's just going to be a badass just immediately.
The first fight?
Yeah. Like when you don't know, I mean, it's Michael Cera. You don't think
absolutely
he's going to be a badass in this movie. You think he's about to get his ass kicked.
I think I remember thinking that too. Yeah. Cause I mean, you just didn't really see it becoming that. Cause leading up to it, I guess it was just kind of funny because he's like really into arcade games or whatever. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure going into it, especially after he plays the first video game with his girlfriend Knives, like you see how into it he is, that maybe he spends so much time in the arcade that like he just views life as a video game. And then the fights happen and you realize, no, that's just this movie. This is just the reality.
Yeah, that's just the reality of the movie.
All these characters.
I remember I had to write a paper on it in school.
For what?
The whatever class it was in. I think it was
Was it Sutton's class?
Yes. Yeah.
Film analysis.
Yeah. So we had to analyze this movie, and I was just trying to make shit up. I didn't know what the hell. I was like, dude, what the fuck did I just watch? How am I going to analyze this?
You could send this in as extra credit.
Yeah. And so I essentially just wrote about how it was like he's looking at it through that perspective of just like his reality is video game. So he sees these drama pieces as just like these over the top video game action. But
yeah.
I honestly think that's just the world this movie lives in.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
not
think,
like a fictional kind of thing. That's just literally what he.
I don't think there's any exaggeration because, like, they all died.
Yeah.
Like, he kills G-Man. Shout out to G-Man. What's that actor's name?
I have no idea.
Like I was telling Scott when watching the movie, he just always pops up, just out of nowhere.
Like what else is he in?
Movies. Well, I think of just like Wes Anderson movies whenever I see him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. He was in the new one.
Asteroid City?
Yeah, right?
I still haven't seen Asteroid City. Jason Schwartzman. Yeah, Asteroid City. I think he's kind of one of Wes Anderson's like go-tos.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of cool how there's like cliques in almost every industry. Like there's cliques that grew up together in the film industry that kind of stick together. Same within music. It's cool seeing those like little cliques pop up because they all kind of work in this unique style together.
Yeah, because I don't know how Jason really got involved with him. I just know that it was like Owen Wilson and his brother Luke.
Yeah,
and then they like were roommates with Wes Anderson. It's like obviously that's why Wes is always gonna like have Owen in a movie, you know. So
because I mean they just know they work well together. So whenever you find somebody like that, that can you almost have to write for them.
Yeah, and there's trust. You
Yep.
know, like they came from the ground up together. So like,
Yep.
you know,
Putting each other on. But I do. So once that animation does hit and it's over the top, the fight scenes are 10 out of 10 for me.
yeah, they're choreographed really well.
Yeah, and then I think there's really no complaints with the fight scenes at all because it does a great job of showing the action.
Mm-hmm.
You see all the moves. There are a lot of cool shots that allow you to see the moves because obviously it's not Michael Cera doing all those fights. It's a stunt double probably. So it gives those cool over-the-top shots where it's almost kind of like a video game. So it hides that it's Michael Cera, and you can see somebody that's very athletic and can train this way in the fighting perform very well.
Yeah.
So the fight scenes are always really cool. There's a lot of cool little like animations with the fight scene when it does show that top view or even any other view. Sometimes I specifically remember in the first fight when he's fighting, what was his name? Michael Patel. It was something like that.
I think it was Michael Patel.
Every time they would swing, there's like a little trail, like a video game trail from their fists and their kicks, which is cool. It's like there's so many cool little touches in this movie that make it dive into that video game style.
Yeah, definitely. The coins, you know, like all that.
Because, I mean, if you really watch the animation, you see all the little details they add. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things that, you can tell there was just a lot of work put into this movie.
Yeah. It's probably pretty expensive to make this because there's so much animation.
Yeah.
So much animation. I don't know if this movie could get made today with this exact script because there was a lot of racial Asian jokes.
Yeah, G-Man.
And I was like, wow, they said that. Wow.
G-Man telling Knives like, shut it, Kung Pao chicken.
Yeah, bro. You're like, holy shit, dude.
What the fuck?
Just straight up racism. All right.
It shows he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, Jesus, bro.
It does. But like, I don't know. I mean, Scott Pilgrim didn't like really like come to her defense. Like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, sure, he was gonna like I guess he fought him, but he was gonna fight him already. He didn't like amp up his anger when he said Kung Pao chicken. Like everybody kind of just let that one go.
Yeah, it would have been funny if they would have thrown up like a little power up that said racism.
Extra point.
Dude, oh my god.
What else about Scott Pilgrim?
I like Michael Cera's acting. He's like the perfect kind of like nerdy, awkward character, and that's what makes it so funny that he gets all these women, and then him being a badass is just hilarious.
That's how he is though in a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
What else is he really in? Like obviously you have Superbad, and then Arrested Development, and then this. I mean, This Is the End. He does play a good cameo of him just being like a dickhead.
He was in Barbie.
Juno.
Yeah, he was in Barbie. Juno.
Was he a
still
Ken?
playing the same exact character.
He was a Ken?
Yeah. Yeah, he was. You don't remember?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or no,
yeah.
he's not a Ken. He's
That's right. Alan.
Alan.
He was the rejected Ken. Like the discontinued
yeah.
Barbie. Yeah, that's funny.
No. Yeah, so I mean, I'll just say, like, no disrespect to Michael Cera, because like everything I've seen him in, I enjoy, but I think he's got the whole nerdy, awkward. He's got that character down.
Yeah.
Like he's made an entire career off of that character.
Yeah, I don't think has he played anything besides that character.
Like I said, this is the end. He plays like himself.
Yeah.
But you know, that's just like it's like I'm sure. Well, he might be a dickhead like that in real life. Who knows?
I think everyone in that movie is like playing a dickhead version.
Yeah,
of
like they're
themselves.
playing a huge.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Jonah Hill, like.
Yeah, they're all like just the shittiest version of a celebrity, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, good for him, man. But if that's what you wanted the character to be, Michael Cera is the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Either him or the guy. I always think that these two are so similar in the characters they play, but it's the guy that in The Social Network. Fuck. What's his name?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes. I think he's got that character down too.
But he's got
just
the smarter version of that
Yeah,
character.
I was just about to say it's like more nerdier than like awkward.
Yeah,
because
like
he can
Michael
be
Cera's dorky. He's
Yeah.
nerdy.
he can be a real asshole.
Yeah, I mean, he's an asshole in The Social Network.
Yeah. But I always think that like they just the way that they play their characters just reminds me a lot of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's no way I'm the only one that thinks that either. Like I'm sure there's plenty of people that would think that.
Yeah, I think that.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if that's a popular. Okay, we're gonna look it up.
People get. Yeah.
Boom.
Although
Boom.
Michael Cera's got a little bit of a softer face.
Boom.
Boyish face.
Bitch.
Who's his wife?
What's the social security number?
Does he have one?
Nadine.
Nadine Cera. Can you go to images?
You just want to see how well
I
he
just wanna
did?
see- yeah. Looks like Opry Plaza, but it's not.
Wow.
Doesn't it? Look at the first picture.
I don't.
Oh, you know who it looks like? It looks like the girl from SNL, the crazy one that looks crazy, plays like the crazy characters.
God, Michael Cera, if you ever see this, I'm so sorry. We like you. And your wife's very pretty.
I'm not saying she's not pretty.
I'm trying to think who you're talking about. The one like that her eyes can get really wide.
That
The
the first one.
First
yeah,
one?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. What's it? Kate McKinnon?
Yeah, Kate McKinnon.
Yeah, she's funny.
Yeah, kind of looks like her a little bit with
He-
the dark hair. So they dated after this movie.
Uh,
Aubrey Plaza and Michael Cera.
I think so. Something like that.
Damn, he was just too badass on set,
Yeah, I think
beating Chris Evans' ass.
kind of just help, you know.
Yeah, after meeting on Scott Pilgrim.
Michael Cera's got game.
He is. I don't think you get these star roles unless you got a little bit.
Yeah, probably. You got to be, well, or you just are really good at playing that character.
I think you gotta have a little bit of swagger about you.
You do. If you're that famous, dude, he's got confidence through the roof.
Definitely.
I'm the man. I'm Scott Pilgrim. But yeah, I liked Scott Pilgrim. I've liked it the first time I watched it.
This is my second time.
It's up there, dude. It's a great movie.
Probably won't be my last.
It's kind of a must watch, if I had to say.
I'd say.
All right. You gave it a 8.6. Is that right?
Something like that. Or 8.7.
I don't remember.
I forgot.
I think he gave it 8.6.
8.2.
8.2. Scott gave it a whopping 10. We need a 10 tracker on Scott.
We do.
We honestly should be tracking our scores more so we can like see where like our tier list.
Like how, yeah. Yeah.
Like what do we have? Like what's at the top?
I used to rate movies a lot lower.
Yeah.
But we also started out watching like some pretty
Yeah, we weren't watching many good movies.
Like, there's no way Scott would give. What's that one movie that was just absolutely ridiculous?
Sisu.
Sisu. There's no way Scott would give it a 10.
Dude, people love that movie.
Scott would give it a fucking 10 now that I'm thinking about it.
He totally would.
Damn it.
Because people like that movie. That's not like a movie that is widely have the same. Like, people don't think the same.
People disagreed with us.
Yeah, people disagree with us heavily. Like, actually mad at us for how much we hated it.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the trailer and not having any desire to watch it.
You should watch it just so you can be in on it.
It's
honestly, it's probably worth
popular.
a watch just because it's funny.
It was popular.
It's like an old man John Wick against Nazis.
It kind of reminds me of Scott Pilgrim. Now that I'm thinking about it.
A little bit. It's just so ridiculous, Scott. It's like it's not even he's not even believable in the slightest.
Right.
Too old.
It's not even that. It's just some of the things that happen. You're like, how the fuck did he survive that?
Yeah.
Like a plane crashing and the plane going underground and he climbs out of the mud. You're like, what?
But yeah.
Okay.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World, man.
What a great movie. What a classic. Must watch if you haven't seen it. Comment below what you think of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Let us know if you agree. Let us know if you disagree. And that's all we have this week. Catch us next week on the CRWN Cinema Podcast. We're out.
Well, I've been working like a dog trying to buy my next meal. Seems all